I'm Devorah Wallen, and I'd like to share my Tea for Two, my Torah thought, for 2 minutes, more or less. This week's Torah portion is Vayeitzei, which means, and he went out. This refers to Yaakov's departure from Beersheba on the way to Haran. It says, he came upon the place and slept there, and had a dream about a ladder connecting the heavens and the earth with angels who were going up and down it. In this episode, Hashem promises him that his descendants will live in that place in the future. Since he had this revelation, he calls that place Beis Kal, the house of God. There are many events and stories in this week's portion. Yaakov's need to work 7 years to marry Rachel, the daughter of Lavan, the swindler, and then he worked for her for 7 years, and then Lavan swapped Leah for Rachel under the wedding canopy. He was deceived and was told he needs to work another 7 years for Rachel, since Lavan claimed that the custom of the place was to marry off the older sibling first. Then we learn about how Jacob's children were born to Leah and the sister's handmaids, and then finally to Rachel. Joseph is born finally and ends up being the viceroy of Egypt. Although there are many stories in our portion, if we go back to the first verses, it says that Jacob encounters a place and sleeps there. It says that the angels were ascending and descending. One would think that angels would be coming from a spiritual place and then going to a physical place. One would think that they would be coming down from heaven and then going up. Rabbi Elimelech Biederman shares this concept, which speaks to the innate value of each person. The Midrash regarding this verse says that the angels were going up and going down the ladder because they were dancing with him because of his great actions. When Yaakov saw that the angels depended on his behavior, he said, "If I knew how great the impact of my actions were, I never would have been able to sleep here." The Chidushei Harim, Rabbi Yitzhak Meir Rothenberg, said about this medrash that if a Jew would realize how great the potential of his actions are, he would never ignore even a single positive action or the opportunity to serve Hashem. The Lubavitcher Rebbe said that birth is saying you matter. Through our actions, we can add shefa, abundance, and simcha, joy, in and from the upper worlds. Rabbi Aaron of Karlin and Dor Deah said, if a person does not consider himself an important person, he will not free himself from his negative traits. Let us all see the greatness that we're endowed with and utilize our greatness to positively affect the world around us.